Space, the final frontier. Or, as Jeff Bezos or Sir Richard Branson call it, another Tuesday. This week in Flying the Kupp, we are going to be talking about space travel, going to space. Are we going to space? What is out there? I am your host, Michael Bennett. Next to me, I have your other host, Mr. Josh Kupperstein. How you doing today?
Well, I'm going to need a little space to get this introduction in. My name is Josh Kupperstein. Thank you so much for stopping by again. I'm doing the intro over again. I need more energy. We're talking about space travel. I mean, that's epic. You need a lot of rocket fuel to get yourself. We're flying high on here and Flying the Kupp. Flying out to space is a whole other thing. We'll get to that in a second. While you are looking for us on social media, we are at Flying the Kupp on Instagram and Facebook. We are also at youtube.com. We have our videos posting every week. And flyingthekupp.com has all our news, updates, videos, links to the podcast on Spotify, as well as soon-to-be merch. Keep an eye out for that. And if you're looking for us, if that name you can't see, it's spelled Kupp. Make sure to like us, subscribe, leave a comment section. Let us know your feedback, and thanks for your time. Is that good?
Yeah.
You feeling good?
Yeah.
You got that rocket fuel in you?
I'm ready to blast off right now.
I don't think you know what that means, but okay.
Would you go to space if given the invitation?
No. I will tell you right now, I would. There's part of me. I mean, you look at those videos, and I would love to see Earth from that view from space. Space in general freaks me out.
Not just Google Earth. You want to?
I Google Earth everything because I just assume I'm too lazy to go there. So it's
that's enough for you.
That's enough.
Okay.
You put on the virtual reality goggles. I'm like, I'm in space. Been there. Done that. The fear of the unknown of space is intriguing, but it's also highly scary.
Yeah, it's like that. It's worse than Australia. It's like literally everything. One slip up can end your existence.
I don't know how people do those spacewalks where they're attached on a cable and they go out and they either work on the International Space Station or they do any kind of spacewalk. If you're in space and all of a sudden that thing goes, you're just free falling and no one knows. Like, I don't know, is it an instant thing or are you just floating around there for forever? I mean, I've watched Austin Powers. I see, I see what happens with Mini-Me's floating out until eventually he gets picked up by Dr. Evil. But we all know space is out there. We've seen the video, we've seen the science, we've seen all that. But sometimes ignorance is bliss.
Yeah, I've seen the science and I've seen things like that, and I am not a scientist, and I do not understand it. If space is one of those almost unfathomable things that I can't completely wrap my head around, one of the most intriguing things is space is ever expanding. It's continuously, infinitely growing and nonstop, and it's crazy that a human wants to go out there to explore and push the boundaries and plant their flag wherever it might be.
And that's whenever you hear scientists discovering more and more, where they'll say, "Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. There's like at least a couple hundred galaxies that they know of. We are one planet in this solar system, in this galaxy, and there's tens of hundreds of other galaxies at least out there in space, and that is very, very frightening.
It's infinite possibilities.
There's no end. You don't know where it ends.
So in that being infinite and those types of possibilities, do you think there's other life out there?
I think yes. I think it's very ignorant to think otherwise, that we're the
all
only
life or intelligent life.
I don't know. I
what would you guess?
I would think yes.
Intelligent life?
I can't imagine that we are the only thing out there. I think there's a lot of... We've seen the UFO videos recently. We don't know. That's why they're unidentified. They could be explained other ways. I'm not saying that's necessarily aliens, but I don't believe without big spaces and as big as many galaxies and everything, I can't imagine we're the only intelligent beings out there. So I never really believed it, and as you get older and you start thinking about it, I would say yes. I would say there is other life out there.
Yeah, infinity's kind of a big number, and when you take that into perspective and just think about how much it took for us humans to be here, even in this, situation that I'm in right now. I'm in an air-conditioned, cooled basement in almost luxury. Like, this is comfortable, the set of Flying the Kupp.
Well, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
It's real nice.
You're in the Kupp cave.
Being here in the Kupp cave is almost an impossible probability. And even with that, thinking that there has to be some other life there. In my opinion, it is absolutely guaranteed that there's some other form of life, whether it be amoeba, single-celled organism, or whatever it might be. That's definitely there. That's probably within our own solar system. But to think about the improbability of humans, there has to be some form of other intelligent life. And if they're smart, they'll stay away from us.
Yeah, definitely stay away from us. But I would imagine that if they are out there, that they're picking up the signal and clearly watching Flying the Kupp, wouldn't you think? And if you're out there, aliens, you can follow us on social media at Flying the Kupp or flyingthekupp.com or YouTube or Spotify. If it's a name you can't see, it's spelled Kupp. If you're listening, just so you remember.
And right now,
I'm probably their first target, though.
Maybe they think that you're the leader of the free world and they want to come talk to you. They could be a guest spot here on Flying the Kupp. But
come on, that will get some ratings.
Right now, it takes billions of dollars to get to space. I
got that laying around.
Yeah, okay, perfect. But some people that do are Jeff Bezos and Sir Richard Branson, who recently have, I'll say, a friendly competition to try and see who got to space first. Depends what you count as space. Depends how high, how long, that type of competition. But these billionaires have created these companies and just shot themselves miles into the atmosphere, and it's only going to grow from there. It's only going to expand, and they're going to continue being explorers of an infinite possibility. And to me, that's a little bit crazy because I'm probably never going to go to space. The technology is there now to get us into space, but in the future, it might be a thing where we just go on vacation to the moon. We go into a colony on Mars. Like, that is a possibility.
Can you imagine taking kids there and asking, are we there yet? And saying, a couple more months, we'll be there.
A couple more months, a couple more years. It's going to take a little bit. Yeah, that's probably a new level of are we there yet?
Would you go given the chance? I already answered that I wouldn't, but would you?
I probably wouldn't, just because I am a second generation type of guy.
You heard it here on Flying the Kupp. We hate space.
It is amazing.
I like my own personal space, but I don't like that space.
Space is amazing, and I think it should be explored. I'm just not the person to do it because that's not where my talent lies. That's not where my passion lies. But I have a vision of the future, and I think the future is in space, and I'm happy to back these people that also think that the future and prosperity is in space.
You're absolutely right on that point about the future being from space. It's amazing. You don't even realize without doing more research how many things come from research based on the space program. What NASA's doing up and growing new vegetables and new products and new things that are on the International Space Station. And that's where a lot of the research comes in. You don't even realize where it's coming from. That space program is more than just going out and looking at stars. There's a lot of important research being done out there. So fully support NASA and that whole program out there. And I keep going back, would it be cool to see that view? Of course. There's so much uncertainty with it. I mean, you think about space, and it goes with a lot of things in life. The people that are trying it out early on are usually the ones that they eventually make new technologies or procedures based on those failures. The reason they have those space suits and those helmets is because someone went out to space one day without a helmet and realized, well, crap, we need a helmet that has or hey, it's negative 10,000 degrees out here. We need something to keep warm. Or coming back on re-entry, we need a heat shield.
Yeah, they're going to do a little bit more testing before they send a human out there.
I mean, 50 years ago, they really doing that?
Yeah, they were, and they
Were
were
they?
sending animals out before humans.
You can't do that. You love animals.
Yeah, but we love people too. And we love our viewers here on Flying the Kupp.
Yes,
so
we
we
do.
won't shoot you into space, barreling towards the sun at incredible speeds. Don't worry. Just stay tuned and keep watching Flying the Kupp. Now, we talk about the going up in space, traveling, and exploring that, and really what it takes to be in space. Space is an international venue and area. There's international rules for the moon, and if you were to collect different types of minerals from space, it is kind of a collective thing, similar to like what a lake is here in the U.S. Everyone has a share and resource of it. Everyone has a share, so you can't put your stake and claim the moon. Just because the United States went up to the moon first, planted their flag. We don't own the moon. It is everybody's moon. So space is that area that could be another step for humanity too, coming together fully and being one unit instead of how we have been for thousands of years, attacking each other. So
And I think that's very important. I mean, just same goes for here on Earth, but up in space. I mean, we have some brilliant minds around the entire globe. You put those minds together rather than compete, you can figure out a way to make civilization on Mars, or ways for better space travel, or safer, or all these different kind of things that can be found and learned from the space program. You put all those brains together and realize that, hey, it's all one space. We're all one, rather than, I understand being first is great. If you ain't first, you're last. But I agree with you. I think you got to put all the minds together, because that competition, that turns in from competition into cooperation. You exponentially increase your resources and ability to succeed out there. So
yeah, we got to limit the space between you and I, and then work on a collective goal moving towards the future. But just like our viewers and us, we're always looking towards the future, looking towards space. And as those rockets go off, we are also going off here on
Flying the Kupp.
Rockets away. Rocket Man!